Hey guys, welcome to PhoneArena. This is Basil and today I'll be taking you through a video review of the HTC Sensation, HTC's first dual-core handset with a 1.2 GHz Snapdragon processor. It's also got the new version of Sense UI 3.0 that is on top of Gingerbread and an 8 megapixel camera with full HD video recording. Starting with the screen, we can see a QHD display. It's an LCD display, so it's not going to have your poppy, vibrant colors of your Super AMOLED Pluses found on your Galaxy S2, for example, but nevertheless it does have its advantages. At QHD, it means that you've got a longer display. This means that it's a narrower handset in total, and your screen is also narrower in turn. Your thumb has to do less traveling to get from left to right, which we really liked. On top of that, when viewing movies in widescreen, the 16:9 aspect ratio makes for no black borders up top and bottom. And this also applies to YouTube clips, for example, at 720p, and most video we personally came across. So it's really nice to have your full screen utilized for video playback. As we mentioned, the screen's super sharp and it has a really high pixel density, so when you're reading text on it, either in websites or in the ebook reader, it really is an absolute pleasure. While the screen doesn't have the great contrast levels of other displays like Super AMOLEDs, it is still head-on nevertheless very good indeed. When you view it at different angles, however, the screen does tend to wash out a little bit. So unfortunately, if you need great viewing angles, this might not be the best handset for you. That said, head-on it certainly provides a fantastic experience. Taking a look around the handset, and we can find 4 capacitive buttons below the screen, while up top there's an HTC insignia. There's also an in-call microphone, a front-facing VGA camera and a light sensor. The screen face is beveled. By that I mean the edges are raised. Really nice tactile touch there. We can swipe across the screen and we know we're coming to the end of the screen by the fact that there is that ever so slight raise. On top of that, at the base there's also that raise, and it's a bit more prominent. This means that when we press the capacitive buttons below the screen, the buttons are slightly cupped, so our thumb very naturally fits into the groove there. Really nice touch indeed. Without any buttons on the left-hand side, on the right-hand side, sorry, to the left is a volume rocker and a micro USB port, while underneath is a battery release latch, and up top is a 3.5mm headphone jack and a power button. Flip the device round and you can see an 8 megapixel camera capable of 1080p video capture with a dual LED flash, as well as the in-call loudspeaker. On the base of the unit, on the back, is a second microphone for noise cancellation, while you can also see an HTC insignia there. You've also got the soft touch backing with the tri-colored HTC styling. The styling and feel of the device is extremely high-end and premium. It is heavier than the Samsung Galaxy S2, but that doesn't say much, as that device is pretty light. This, on the other hand, is for the opposite kind of user. The person who wants a handset they'll feel in their pocket. The person who wants a really nice, solid, robust piece of kit. It feels very high-end indeed, and we think you probably agree, looks it as well. All in all, to wrap up, we're really impressed with HTC's consideration they've put into the HTC Sensation. It's a very cohesive package that is just an absolute pleasure to handle. The HTC Sensation runs HTC Sense 3.0 all on top of Android Gingerbread. It really is a pleasure visually, you just lap it up. There are some also really cool, useful widgets which are visually stunning. Take this gallery widget for example. It offers a cascading view of your gallery directly from your home screen. Once you find the image that you want to zoom in on, you just tap that image and then it'll fill up the whole widget. Tap it once again and then you've got full access to it in the gallery. As you can see, all with very little slowdown, and it just is all such a smooth, intuitive experience overall. Another widget which we haven't seen before is the watch widget. This gives you quick access to your watch movies that you've rented and any trailers that you may have downloaded. So for example, if we tap our trailers, we can immediately just access one now.
Do you have kids? We have.
As you can see, the video is perfectly formatted to the screen's aspect ratio, and it just plays without any hitches or slowdown, jumping straight in. On top of that, you do have your standard HTC widgets, such as your friend stream, your messaging, your weather widget. However, weather, for example, has much tighter integration. If you tap the weather button, the weather icon, then you're taken to a visualized weather indication. In addition to that, when you switch on your phone and unlock it, let's do that to the home screen. You may be able to hear some sound effects. These sound effects just really reiterate what the weather's like, so you don't have to look out for it, you can just listen out and experience that. On top of that, each widget's got a 3D visualization to it. So as you can see, there's a clock hinge on the side of the clock widget. On top of that, with the friend stream widget, the friend stream words pop on and pop off. You've also got, when pinching to zooming, that beautiful cascading visualization of the home screens fading in and fading out, all so silky smooth. It makes the whole experience feel seamless, but it's very, very much appreciated as it looks fantastic. Your app drawer is the staggered variety, which gives you access to all your applications, your starred favorite applications, as well as your downloaded applications. In addition to that, you've also got your notification pull down tab. This gives you access to your quick settings, as you can see, not to mention your recently opened applications. As far as the camera goes, it's a very standard HTC job with a zoom bar on the left hand side and your icons on the right hand side. Without anything too out of the ordinary, the scene modes are fantastic, the macro mode in particular, as well as the backlit mode, which we'll talk about later when browsing the image quality. And if you want to switch to your movie shooting, you just tap your bottom right hand button there. Going to the gallery, and we can take a look at the video and photo output. As far as the photos go, they do tend to look pretty good, especially if outdoors. The macro lens offers some pretty good levels of detail, as you can see, and we've even managed to get some depth of field in there, which is quite nice. As far as outdoor shots go, noise isn't much of a problem. This picture taken in sunset, was a very nice example of that, and it has okay dynamic range. However, as we can see with this picture right here, when you're taking a shot with a bright backlit background, you can underexpose the foreground. There is actually a backlit scene mode which will account for this so that the foreground remains in focus and looking good. This is a really, really nice feature, and we'd like to see more scene modes like this on cameras. As far as indoor shots go, it didn't fare quite so well, with a bit of noise here and there. However, the strong dual LED flash did work pretty well to counter this. As far as video goes, it did look pretty good on the handset itself. As you can see, we can adjust the volume and play about with the phone, and there isn't really any slowdown to speak of, and considering it's full HD video, that's quite impressive. Frame rate's pretty good overall, and detail levels are as well. As you can see, the video copes with moving objects pretty well too. So, general thumbs up, though it is still a phone video capture device and isn't going to compete with a full HD video recorder by any means. In addition to that, you've also got a host of connectivity features. The handset has 3G on board, as well as Wi-Fi, Bluetooth 3.0 and a range of other features such as DLNA. In fact, the micro USB port on board also outputs to an HDMI TV with the right connector. As far as web pages are concerned, as you can see, browsing them is an absolute doddle. It's really nice and smooth, pinch to zoom works very well, text reflows extremely quickly to fit the page, and it's just generally really nice to use. Flash content loads extremely quickly, and we've tapped through on that, and the page, as you can see, all loads really nice and fast. Flash video plays back on the device wonderfully, and with the 16:9 aspect ratio, naturally with 720p video, it plays back smoothly with no borders, which is really great. On top of that, you have your standard messaging system, but what you do have is HTC's keyboard. What's nice about this on the HTC Sensation is in landscape mode, it's wider than most thanks to the QHD aspect ratio of 16:9. This therefore makes for a really nice, comfortable typing experience, and you can get really good typing speeds. As you can see, without even really looking at the phone, I was able to type quite quickly, quite coherently as well. Really, really good overall. In turn, mainly because of the beautiful visualization of Sense UI, we have to say that HTC Sensations won us over. It's really functional as well, so it's not just all about the looks, but the looks really do help. HTC Sense 3.0 also incorporates a cool intuitive lock screen. This works in a ring function, so you can either drag the ring out to unlock, or you can drag an icon into the ring. If you drag an icon into the ring, then it'll open directly into that icon, such as dialer for example, or if you unlock by just dragging the ring out, it unlocks your home screen with a nice visualization and a weather update. This is extremely nice and just really adds to the overall refined feel of Sense 3.0. As far as performance on the handset goes, we couldn't really speak of any slowdown, so even though it doesn't benchmark quite as well as the Samsung Galaxy S2, it's still nevertheless a blindingly fast device. As you can see, ours is just powered down, and this brings us onto the subject of battery life. The battery on the HTC Sensation should last you for a whole day. It might not make it through to 2 days, but nevertheless, the fact it uses micro USB port to charge and has a removable battery makes it easy for you if you want to charge it on the go. Thanks to the beautiful Sense UI and the fantastic build quality of the HTC Sensation, as a complete package, we'd be very tempted to say this was the best Android offering out there. It really does give you everything you need out of the box and is an absolute pleasure to use day in, day out. It might not meet the benchmarks of the of the Samsung Galaxy S2 for example, but you don't use benchmarks day in, day out. You use the UI, and the UI on this is truly wonderful. In turn, if you're looking to root your phone, install custom firmwares, then the Samsung Galaxy S2 might be the handset for you. However, if you want a complete solution out of the box that just feels fantastic and looks the part, then we'd probably recommend the HTC Sensation. Another choice would be the iPhone 4, with its smaller screen but still beautiful, fantastic screen resolution and pixel density. If you need a much better camera, then the Nokia N8 is probably still the best camera phone out on the market, if you can deal with Symbian. Thanks for watching PhoneArena. This has been Basil, and it's been a video review of the HTC Sensation. For more on this and other handsets, just check out www.phonearena.com.